following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona. Brother Mike is back on the radio. Today's Bible study, a pandemic. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Hurry and call somebody and tell them the radio program's on the coronavirus. Today on Hardcore. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix. We're down in the town. We're on 15th Avenue. We are just south of Osborne Road. On the website, you'll see all of our services carried there. We have 2 live services every week, as you know. Thursday and Friday nights. Thursday night is our healing room. Brother Rick and the ministry team run this one and run it hard. We are still open during the pandemic. Thursday nights at 7 for our healing room. Friday night is our teaching service for my radio listeners. Friday nights at 7 o'clock. That is also broadcast live on our YouTube teaching channel. If you don't feel comfortable coming down during the pandemic, just catch it on YouTube, youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. Please go to the PayPal button again, if you would, when you hit the website, and send us another donation, as you have for the last 18 years. May God bless you for that. We've never been late on a radio payment, thanks to you. Sister Karen's on the homepage of the website. She wants to sell your house for you if you're a born-again Christian. She loves working with Spirit-filled Christians. No problemo. If you need to ask me a question or give me a suggestion or a criticism, happy to hear it. I answer all my emails, I believe 100% of them. Mike at hardcorechristianity.com. Pandemic. As you know from Monday's show, the Chinese started this pandemic. They did it deliberately. They created the virus in a lab. They spread it among their own people. Then they stopped it within, let's say, 60 days or something. Communists are able to quarantine entire towns, and they are able to force you to quarantine yourself. This is a democracy over here, and we can't do that. But Trump was beating them and sending them into a recession on the tariffs. And the Chinese had to reassert themselves as the number one superpower in the world, and they had to take us apart. And the only way to do that was they couldn't do it militarily. They did it through this pandemic. They started to send people over here right away who were infected with the virus. Trump caught it, and he stopped airline travel from China. But unfortunately, Trump didn't see the big picture. China didn't stop there. They kept sending their people to Japan, to Italy, to Europe, to Australia. I mean, they were sending them all over the place. And then those people flew to America, and they were unchecked. We were not checking the people that came in from Italy and Japan, for example, where the outbreak started to spread and spread fast, spreading in Seoul, Korea as well. They got stuck with a bunch of infected people from China as well. This thing was all set up, and it was all timed. Okay, in 2017, 2016, China was the number one investor in the United States of America, to the tune of somewhere in the area of $50 billion, buying businesses, buying commercial properties, buying hotels, buying landmarks. I mean, you name it, China was buying stuff left and right. But in 2018, they stopped. It went down to $5 billion. It went down to $5 billion. Why? Because they knew they were going to have to crash the American economy. And the only way to do it, they couldn't do it militarily. The only way to do it was with a pandemic. And that's where we got this coronavirus. Our economy has crashed. It's going to keep crashing for another few weeks until this virus runs its cycle. They're trying to smash us so Trump will cave in and lift these tariffs, because all the other presidents, the Clintons, the Bushes, the Obamas, all the other senators and House of Representatives, all these walking, talking, thieving crooks, sold our souls and sold our country and our lives to China because they got paid. Everybody got paid. Everybody making money. Everybody had a lobbyist. Everybody was in on it. All the major corporations, they all got paid. China paid everybody off. Everybody got paid, but now you and I are going to have to pay. America, the citizens of America, now have to pay. You like all that cheap crap you got at Walmart? Do you enjoy that? You like all those medications? You like all those auto parts? You like all that stuff? You do? Well, welcome to China. That's where all that stuff comes from. Not anymore. Trump was right. This is an enemy, an unseen enemy. Trump is right. This is a war. But it's not the war he thinks. He doesn't understand the big picture. This is Satan doing it. And we're this far from the tribulation. I'm holding my fingers really close here. This far from the tribulation. Guess what? You don't like pandemics? You better get used to them if you're going into the tribulation. Revelation chapter 21. There came to me one of the 7 angels, which had 7 vials full of the last 7 plagues. Plagues? What's that? It's a plague. A plague is a repetitive or chronic disease. The 7 diseases. What? Come here and I will show you the bride and the Lamb's wife. Can you imagine that? Plagues are going to be part of the tribulation. We're in a mini plague right now, the coronavirus. But this is an economic thing. This isn't actually a plague meant to kill all of us. That comes later. This is a warning shot. China is firing over our bow, telling us, listen, you are sending our economy into a recession. We have dominated you for the last 30 years. We loved our $800 billion a year trade deficit. We don't want Trump reelected. We don't want to sign a fair trade deal. We don't do that. We're communists. Hello, they're communists. We're atheists. We don't believe in God. Humans are not made in the likeness and image of God. Humans are animals. What do you do with animals? Well, you keep them for a while and you get rid of them. They got rid of their own people. It didn't bother them at all. They had to get the virus started somewhere. Then they had to spread it somewhere. How'd they do that? Well, of course, they used airplanes. Duh. You'd be a Rhodes Scholar to figure this one out. Listen, plagues, real plagues are coming, friend. Revelation chapter 11, the 2 witnesses have authority from God. Quote, these have authority to shut heaven and that it not rain in the days of their prophecy. They have power over waters to turn them to blood and to smite the earth with plagues. There it is again. Greek word plage. As often as they will. The 2 witnesses have capacities to bring plagues on the servants of the Antichrist. Revelation 18. Quote, I heard another voice from heaven, come out of her, my people, so that you not be partakers of her sins, and you not receive her plagues. Greek word, plage. There it is again. Revelation chapter 9 says, the rest of the men not killed by these plagues repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols, which can neither see nor walk. And here you see it, friend. It's clear as a bell. The coronavirus is a warm-up. This isn't even a real plague. Okay? This coronavirus thing is a bad case of the flu, is what it is. But it was designed to wreck our economy, not destroy our country, because China doesn't want our country destroyed. Because they own our country. They own us now. They manufacture all of our goods. They own us now. They own huge portions of our businesses in the United States. They own massive portions of prime real estate all across the country. China owns us, friend. We're not owned anymore by us. They own us. They know what to do. They want to dominate us. Duh, they're communists. Luke chapter 21, Jesus said, "Take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting, drunkenness, and the cares of this life, so that day comes upon you unawares." What's he talking about there? Talking about the rapture. Listen, friend, would you like to miss all the living hell that's coming on this earth and the real plagues, not this mild corona thing? This is light duty. I'm talking about tribulation plagues. Plagues that leave millions and millions of people dead. Plagues that cannot be stopped with anything, by anything. You do want to escape it? Here it is. It says, let your hearts not be overcharged with surfeiting. Greek word krepale. Krepale means debauchery. And drunkenness. Greek word methe, where we get our English word methamphetamine. And the cares of this life. Merimna is the Greek word for cares there. It means anxieties, fears of this life. What's Jesus doing there? He's giving the Christians a warning saying, listen, as a snare it shall come upon all them that dwell on the face of the earth, Jesus said. Watch therefore and pray always that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and stand before the Son of Man. Pandemics, folks, are real. The problem is we haven't seen any yet. We haven't seen tribulation plagues. They're coronavirus to the 10th power. The book of Revelation is a frightening place to go. And the number of people dying. In fact, in one incident, a third of the people on the earth die. Can you imagine that? A third of 7 or 8 billion people? That's incredible. That's something you want to escape from, as Jesus just said. Listen, it's time for you to rededicate your life. It's time for you to learn spiritual warfare. The best place to learn it at is at the Arizona Deliverance Center, 602-636-5800. We're open during the coronavirus scare. Come for prayer, healing, and deliverance. Or you can watch it on YouTube, youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. We do a deliverance service and record that on YouTube. You can be healed and delivered watching the video if you don't want to come to the services live on Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. Listen, friend, there's pandemics coming like you ain't going to believe. I'm not even going to believe it, and I'm reading about it. They're just on the horizon. We're only a few years away from the tribulation.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.